How's it going, Sha?
Happy birthday, Gastor.
Thank you very much, Sha. Happy birthday, Sha.
I am greeting everybody with happy birthday.
That was a fun moment there. I enjoyed that.
Oh my goodness.
You know it's from the heart, at least, you know?
That I know it is. I know it is. It is. That was definitely a heart and gut decision. Um, okay, for those of you who do not follow the two of us on Twitter, first of all, why? What's going on there? Secondly, um, yesterday, I guess,
Yeah.
sometime earlier this week, I posted a tweet, or I guess I tweeted, um, eh, something about going to a birthday cookout, and
Right.
that's how I put it. I went to a birthday cookout. It was the first um, real excursion that I had been on since we've been allowed to leave our dungeons if
Hmm.
we got the poison in our veins. And so I did, and it was outside, and it was lovely. It was a good friend of mine. It was his birthday, and he had people out at this garden. It was nice, but it was also overwhelming
Okay.
uh, because it was my first time really being around people and seeing full faces and people that I hadn't seen in person in over a year who I truly adore and had only been trying to like keep up with maybe on social media or an occasional text or something, but like, pretty much all of my comedy sons
Aw.
that I claim
Okay.
and all of that. So it was very so that's basically what the tweet was that I'd gone to a birthday cookout and I saw people and it was joyous and also overwhelming and that I probably would process it in my dream and wake up crying or something.
Right.
Like if you were just to talk to me just person, face to face, I'd be like, "Yeah, this is nice." And then I went home and went to sleep and was just like in a dream or something. I don't know. Uh but, you gotta figure out how to process it. And Gastor saw that tweet and then tweeted out a lovely sentiment, wishing me a happy birthday, which was at some point later in the month, he said.
Yeah.
My born day is some point later in the month. This month is May,
Hmm.
and my birthday is in August. But it was very nice, and I was like, "I will accept this. He won't have to do anything in August. This is very sweet."
Listen, first, you miss 100%
Mhm.
of the shots you don't take. All right,
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
absolutely.
I had to try. All right, now you gotta see it from my end. All right.
Mhm.
So to your point, I know you haven't gone out much. So I'm
Right.
thinking, okay, she wouldn't go out for just any birthday. Now, granted, it's one of your close friends, but like to me, I'm thinking, okay, her birthday, yeah, I could see her going out for that, and maybe not even by choice. Maybe someone threw a surprise party and they were
Right,
like, yo,
sure.
you gotta come. There's people here already, it's gonna be awkward if it's Shalewa's party that signs up and you don't show up. So I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Right, right, right.
So I'm like, okay, I can see that. Plus, we had spoken the last week about how uh you felt Google was target marketing you because they
Mhm.
thought your birthday was coming. So
Right.
I'm thinking,
Uh-huh.
oh, this is a lot of info telling me it's around here, and I haven't done the recon to ask when it is. So I gotta say it, so it's not rude because it's the homie. But I also don't know the day, so I don't want to be like, hey, just leave it out there. We talk every week.
Mhm.
How am I just not going to address it if everyone else is going to address it? So I had to, I was like, I got to make sure she knows I still care despite me not having this information. It's not from a lack of care; it's from a lack of not knowing. You know.
Right.
So yeah, I express my feelings and my appreciation for working with Sha on what will now be, just so you know, I've put it in my
Mhm.
calendar. This is your birthday, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what's happening in August, but you will get a text from me every year, late
No,
May.
that's great. That's fantastic. That's wonderful.
It's going
That's
down.
that I will take it because my birthday is like mid-August
Okay.
and my sister's birthday is late July and my mother's birthday was like the beginning of August.
Mm.
So by the time we got to my birthday, there was a lot of fatigue. We're all Leos. There was a lot of fatigue around my birthday. So it was just like, I mean, we love you too, right? And it's like, yeah, I guess. I
No
guess
more.
I know that. Yeah,
No
no
more.
problem.
We are switching
And
it up, Sha.
yeah.
You going first now. You tell your sister, you tell your mama, nope. Gastor made an announcement. And like I would have like kept it low key, but that might have been like my most liked tweet of the week so far. Like everybody's like, oh word,
Yeah.
Sha's birthday?
Yes.
People
Nope,
got on board.
absolutely.
So
Yeah, they absolutely did. And so I'm looking forward to the well wishes from those people. Um but so it's a funny exchange if you go on Twitter and watch it, because if you look at it, because it's my processing tweet, which he retweeted and then wrote an extremely sweet thing after it, and then just my response like, Gastor, my birthday's in August. Oh my goodness. It was so funny. And it happened like very early in the morning.
yeah.
But I also get it because I didn't specify what type of birthday cookout it was.
Yeah.
So I didn't take ownership of it in the tweet and say, I had a birthday cookout, or I had my birthday cookout. I didn't say that, but I also didn't say I went to my buddy's birthday cookout. You know what I mean? I just said a birthday cookout. It could have been a stranger,
Hey,
but it was a cookout, and I just rolled up in it. It was. So I was like, well, I see how we got there. Sure. I absolutely see how we got there. It's right there. It's right. It's the ambiguousness is the proof, I guess. But man, it made me laugh a lot.
I was like, okay, she talked about compression socks. Let me see where I
Yeah.
can find some. I was gonna send them over. Like I was doing the recon.
Yeah, no, trust me. Google only knows my birthday because it knows when to send me ads for old people shit. And don't worry, I got compression socks coming in the mail.
Okay, that's what's up.
So we'll see. We will see what happens with those. If they squeeze life back into my feet, life I didn't know I was leaking out of my. So, how are you doing? What's new with you?
I'm doing.
What'd you do for your birthday?
Real talk shot. The most like revealing thing that happened to me this week also involved you. So like,
how so?
So like, a few episodes back, we were having a conversation about you misplacing a saltine, right?
Yes.
And I texted.
Still hadn't found it yet, everyone. Still haven't found it yet. No idea.
So you were snacking on a saltine, put it down to go write some notes, never found it again. Now, right. I'm in my house, I'm doing random things. I'm going to go to the kitchen for a snack. I noticed my wife had bought a new box of crackers. I look up, it's actually saltines. But I noticed they were mini saltines. So a whole new thing. I've never seen these before. They're the size of Cheez-Its, and I got excited, like they fit, the box shows them being dropped into a bowl of chili. I was like, oh, these are perfect. Like they're the perfect size saltine, so I got super excited to text you. I was like, hey, you know who needs to know about this? Shalewa. This is news. All right. I got a text her. I sent you a detailed text, showed you why this is a revelation and how it could apply to your life, And while this is happening, like this is happening in front of my wife, right? So like Gabby's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you taking video of a box of saltines? And like texting excitedly. I'm like, yo, Shalewa needs to know about this. You don't know what went down last week, and and Gabby is like, yo, you were getting old as shit. You were texting about crackers at 9:00 at night. Like, this is the most exciting thing going on in your life. And yeah, it hit me. I'm like, I'm really having like an old man moment right now. Like, and I was so like filled with joy that I was like, yo, I think I helped Shalewa out with these mini saltines. And I also felt like my world had changed a little. Like, yo, mini salt. I never had these before. I know there's advancements happening in technology, self-driving cars, but not enough
Yep.
people are talking about these mini saltines. This is a game changer. Tesla should
Mhm.
look into doing some of these too. You know,
Right.
it was the
Yep.
same level to me. Same thing. You know, self-driving cars, mini saltines. Same level of
Well,
ingenuity as far as I was concerned.
well, first of all, apologize to your wife. I'm sorry that I am aging you prematurely. We, I am not excited about getting older. I certainly don't want to drag anyone down with me. You'll get here soon enough. Um, but I do also appreciate, honestly, sometimes the most joy you will ever experience is when a food stuff that you like changes sizes.
Yeah.
That's literally all it takes. I mean, when I did the taste testing of Cheez-Its not too long ago, I got one that was just big Cheez-Its. And
Oh.
people were like, "Bigger Cheez-Its?" And I'm like, "Oh, wow, okay." I didn't know. I'm really shaking the table over here, but but yeah, that's all it takes. Make the big thing smaller, make the small thing bigger, and it changes perspectives.
Key to
So I
life.
was excited about it too. I showed my roommate and he was like, "Well, those are like soup crackers." And I was like, "They are not like
No.
soup crackers. They are smaller saltines."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Okay, all right."
On.
I'm like, "Soup crackers are for soup. This could be for anything, just like a saltine can."
Yeah. I was even
Uh,
thinking about like Wendy's when they sell the chili, they had the little prepackaged 2 crackers.
yes.
Those
Yeah,
crackers
those
are
are
still bigger than these
mhm.
saltines. I was like, yo, I don't think they know that there are saltines being made that are appropriate for the size of their chili packaging. You know, this would
Yeah,
be a
yeah,
better
yeah,
fit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think they figure because people like to crack, like smush it into crumbs and then crumble it on there.
Yeah.
So maybe they want to give people the opportunity to do that. But for those of us who don't feel like making crumbs, here's a smaller saltine for you. I was very excited. I'm looking forward to roaming the streets to find these saltines. I don't know if it'll help me keep track of them, but possibly. I'll possibly eat them
Yeah,
faster,
that
so I
that was
won't.
my logic. I figured you won't
Yeah,
lose it because it's exactly a bite size. You
right,
know, there
exactly.
won't be
Yeah.
anything left over. You take the bite, you good.
Yeah, and you're done.
That's it.
Oh, man. I do wonder where that saltine went. I just feel like sometimes I just stand in front of the window and look out into the world and just say, "I hope you're safe, saltine."
Meanwhile, like your cat is somewhere like coughing up mothballs.
Yeah, yeah, just drinking a lot more water than usual. Nah, I don't even
Been
notice.
processing that saltine for a month. You know, you're like, oh.
Right. That was a rough one. Yeah.
Oh man, let's get into the news. uh Huge transition here, but today the day of recording is 1 year from George Floyd's passing. George Floyd's family is actually visiting the Biden and Harris household today at the White House. The meeting is set exactly 1 year from the day of his passing, and there's a few things they're hoping to address. One, the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, the legislation that would set up a national registry for police misconduct, ban racial and religious profiling by law enforcement, and overhaul the qualified immunity for police officers, remains stalled in the Senate. Biden has set an initial goal of having the legislation passed by Tuesday, but the White House backed off that deadline to allow negotiations to continue in Congress. Obviously, they also wanted to pay their respects. Biden initially wanted to keep this meeting private. Yeah, did,
You know what? I forgot for a hot second that Biden was president. So all I saw was the headline, really. I just saw like George Floyd family to meet at White House. And I was like, why the fuck are they going to the oh wait. Okay. No, never mind. Wait. No, we've changed a few things.
they bringing this
Okay.
fight to the streets. I like it. Straight to 'em.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was just like, why are you but yeah, it took me a minute.
Yeah, no. I also feel a little bad for Joe because it's like Joe is like that kid who like forgot the homework was due that day. Like he's like, hey, listen, man, I wanted to get this done today. I missed the deadline. I get an extension. promising
Well,
to get
it's
it
more
done.
like he wanted to get it done, but it was a group project, and everybody else in his group like stopped coming to the meetings. You
Slackers.
know what I mean?
Slackers.
Like, yeah, like he's just like, guys, we gotta get this done. I came up with the thing. You said you were gonna do that part. You said your mom would help you build a diorama or whatever, and no one is doing that. And it's like, well, and then no one came to school the day it was due.
Yeah.
So Joe has to go in
Homie out
and
there by
say,
himself with the poster board,
yeah,
trying to do all the parts of the presentation
all
by
the
himself.
parts, all the
Yeah.
parts, and he's being graded by Al Sharpton. It looks like is in the picture.
Yo, I'll be everywhere, man. I respect that dude also.
I'll be everywhere.
Yo.
Not I'll be sure. I'll be everywhere.
Yo, real talk, that would be a hot R&B album, like artist right there. I'll be everywhere. Drop a soul.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man, and also major props to the family of George Floyd, also who announced they would be using $500,000 of their settlement money with the city of Minneapolis to create the George Floyd Community Benevolence Fund. The fund will offer grants to organizations and businesses that serve the community at the 38th in Chicago in Minneapolis. The intersection is where Floyd passed away. So yeah, man. I dig the progress. I'm glad that they took some time to show him some respect. I know that obviously they have other things that they have to handle, but this has been an issue that's been ongoing, and I'm glad he took a moment, A, to address his family and show them some respects, and B, prove that it is still an ongoing issue that they have top of mind.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking at this photograph and I just noticed that Ben Crump is there as well. I'm sorry. I just keep noticing the people that just show up at all of the things. And the attorney Ben Crump is there. He's not even wearing a suit. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm sorry. I'm sartorially I'm a little upset.
Yeah.
Wait, is that? Oh no. Ben Crump is wearing a suit.
Yeah,
Hold
that's
on.
George
Yeah,
Floyd's
he is
family.
wearing a suit.
Yeah.
That's his uncle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, uncles don't wear suits. No, that's right. That's
I thought that was
absolutely
on
right.
brand. He was right. He's like, listen, man. I'm here. I'm showing
No,
up
yeah,
doing my
no, that
part.
does check out.
Yeah. I do think it's extra gangster though, because it looks like he's wearing shorts. I think that's
I
that's
think he
aggressive.
is. I mean, they're linen, so
Okay.
they're his dress shorts.
Fair.
But he also seems to have like a hat in his hand.
You gonna do it?
My man came mad casual. I love it. No, I
As you should.
absolutely love it.
Amen.
Yeah,
Much respect.
yeah.
Much respect.
There's no need after what we've seen, after what he personally has been through for the past year,
Amen.
and what we as a country have seen over the last 4 years. White House don't get long pants no more. White House gets a barely ironed shirt. I'll give you linen shorts, but you also gonna get like this golf hat or a straw hat or whatever. I'm not even gonna put my phone away.
I don't wear shorts, but I'm buying them specifically to go to the White House.
Specifically your White House shorts.
I'm gonna hang them up. I'm gonna frame them just for that day when I get invited. I'm gonna be ready. College students learn new ways to cheat during the pandemic and the remote schooling. That's right. Students say that working remotely makes it easier to use phones and notes during exams, and they cite constraints in online learning as reasons to further explain their behavior. A student from Imperial College London found a near 200% increase in questions and answers posted to Chegg's homework help section between April and August of 2020. Experts say the empirical data on COVID cheating is still slim, but many students are doing it because during pandemic remote learning shift, they think no one is watching. That's right.
I mean, yeah, right? Yeah, you're cheating. I mean, look, because I feel like that for the most part, schooling kind of feels like it's just a matter of passing the test in order to get on to the next grade.
Right.
And I don't know. And again, I'm speaking as someone who hadn't been near a child in decades.
Okay.
So, but I have friends who were teachers, especially during the No Child Left Behind years.
Right.
So it was all about testing, and it's all about you just need to know how to pass this test so that we can say we taught you what you needed to know to pass this test. We can continue to get funding, and then we just shuffle you along to the next grade. There's no real retention,
Yeah.
right? So at this point, it's just like, and that was just when we were able to pay attention. This year, nobody's paying attention at all. I mean, I've read reports of like, there was a very long piece in the New York Times about kids who were in their maybe sophomore year of high school,
Yeah.
sophomore or junior year, and it followed them all, like 3 or 4 of them in this one school, and a teacher as well, like in an AP history course or something, and one of the kids was just like, "Yeah, I mean, at least this teacher shows up every day. I've signed into classes where the teacher just kind of shows up and goes, it's a rough one today. Everybody read by yourself," and then just disappears. So, yeah, I guess I understand wanting to treat this school year like a bar trivia night
Yeah. I did.
and just looking up quietly looking up answers on your phone.
Oh man. The first time I played bar trivia, I won a porn DVD. That was very
Yep.
aggressive.
Wait, the DVD in particular, or just the idea that was the
DVD.
prize?
The prize is fine. That's like a cute,
Uh-huh.
date night thing at a bar. I get that. But the
Right.
DVD,
The
it was
DVD
like
itself.
3 hours of 10-minute
Oh,
scenes. So
yeah.
like,
Oh, they gave you like a value
yeah,
pack.
it was the idea, like the value I loved. But this is the thing, right? It was like, so like the first scene was a guy and a girl walk into a living room. And the second scene was a guy and 2 girls walk into a living room. And by like the end, it was like horses. Like it just kept escalating every scene, and it felt like a challenge of like how far would you make it before turning it off. So I got like
Right.
4 scenes in. I've shown it to friends, and no one has finished it. It was crazy.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
But yeah, like as a parent, I'm always torn on this issue because like I've talked about this a bit. Like unless you're being your goal is to be like a doctor or an engineer, I really don't see anyone being asked specifically about what they studied when they studied. I feel that going to school, in particular high school and college, is about learning to think critically. Before that is learning how you learn. That's all that matters to me. If you get through 8th grade and you have a general understanding of how you best learn and how you worst learn, you've gotten good value out of it. You by that point you should have learned, hey, you're probably not someone that can cram at the end of the week and do the work, or you are or you're not, and you figure out that's who you are. And for the most part, anyone that I know that did last minute work in 7th grade still does it today, but they figured that out about themselves those years. And
Right.
then
Yes.
after that, you learn whether you're going to be someone that goes into one of the few fields that really requires it, or you at the very least learn how to think critically. You learn how to handle tough situations that come up with adulthood. That's all I care about coming from school. So to me, like everything that falls under cheating in school, in real life, would be called a solution. Every single time. Like cheating in sports, I give you. But like in school, like if someone passed you a note that's cheating, you pass me a note in a board meeting, you get a promotion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everything that's called, like, like, yo, why you looking that up on your phone? You're suspended. Yo, why you looking that up on your phone? Thank you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't add up to me. Like
Okay.
everything that is like built under that, it's only a bad thing in this one particular space. And if you're cheating, to me, like, obviously you should be trying to learn things that you find interesting. But to me, when someone's cheating, they're telling me, I don't find this interesting, but I acknowledge I need to get this done. This is a solution. If you cheat effectively, yo, I'm not even mad at it. You did the task at hand. Just like if you at the job, if I ask you to do some shit as your manager, I really don't give a fuck how you outsourced it. That's what's up. It still got done. I'm paying you
Okay.
what you're getting paid to get it done. Now, like if in terms of like sports or something where there's like drugs involved to cheat, those are different. But like, I don't
Mhm.
feel like the things that fall under cheating as a kid or as a student are really cheating. You know, so I don't have an issue with someone doing that.
That is the most mind-blowing analysis of cheating I've ever heard. Not no and no shade, and I don't mean that. I mean, like, that's super. I never would have looked at it that way, and that makes all the sense in the world. Um, uh, like, I think that's actually kind of brilliant.
Right? Like I feel like it
Looking
makes
at it that
sense.
way. Yeah. No, absolutely. Because I was never going to go into a field that required much about chemistry.
Right.
I did okay in chemistry, and that is literally because the teacher set up a way that she ran every week in chemistry that maybe if you were interested, you could do a little more and learn more about chemistry. But if you just needed to pass this class to keep it moving,
Yeah.
by the second week, and I mean, she told you in the first week, here's what we're going to do. Here are the chapters that you got to read. And there are questions at the end of each section. Answer those questions Monday night for as homework. Tuesday, we're going to go over the answers of the question.
Okay.
Wednesday, I'm going to give you a pop quiz. I am telling you this. Every Wednesday, there is a pop quiz. Not sure how pop of a quiz it is. Every Wednesday, this is what you will get. Thursday, we will go over the answers of the quiz. Friday, you will get a test on it that is literally the pop quiz written in reverse order. And the pop quiz itself is just the questions that you answered on Monday and talked about on Tuesday.
That's dope.
There's no way to fail.
Uh,
The dumbest children in the world still walked out of there with like a C.
Yo.
You know what I mean? All you had to do was be able to follow those directions and you're good. And then she just sent you back out into the world. And from that point on, it was just like, all right, well, I guess I better go take biology. Or, you know what? I think maybe I want to take advanced chemistry. You know what I mean? But she didn't give you any, like, you know, just kind of like, if you want to do anything, you know, if you want to dig deeper, come see me after. No, when that bell rang at 3, she was in her car at 3:07. She did not.
I love it.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying. That's super. It makes all the sense in the world. I also hope that anyone who's going through what we've been through over the past year and a half, and it's just like, these kids are cheating. We got to punish them. Yo, man, suck on a rock. Y'all are being extremely cruel. Extremely
Yeah.
cruel.
Real talk, like I talk smack about my kids, but like I'm blown away by what they've done the last year and a half. Like it takes an incredible amount of discipline. Kudos to the leadership and the work done by the proper teachers that are doing that. But like I get distracted recording a 1-hour podcast with you because the computer's on, and they got to do that for 8 hours. Like sit there and take a lesson while using the thing that has every game that they want at the same time. That shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's insane that they're able to get any work done. I'm blown away by it. The same
It's
exact
like
system.
they're doing work at a desk that's set in an open door.
Yeah.
And they're not chained to anything.
Yeah.
It's like you could get up at any time and walk through the rest of that doorway.
You know?
And go to the rest of the world.
Listen, major props to them for getting it done. Yeah, keep cheating if you're getting away with it. I'm impressed, you know. Get those degrees and
but also pay attention to the things that actually interest you.
Right.
Like if something actually interests you, try not to cheat on it. You'll know it when you come across it.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, just do that part.
Yeah.
As well as cheating through, cheat through chemistry if it's not your thing. Maybe go back and look at a couple of things if you end up getting into photography.
Yeah.
Which is what I did.
Like, I just thought of the perfect example too. Like, they're getting called out for like having someone else do their work, posting it online and paying somebody. You know what I don't like doing every freaking year? I don't like doing my taxes. I pay someone to do it. I'm fully capable of doing that shit. But I find it
Wow.
annoying. I pay someone $300. Hey, these are all the papers. Don't bother me till they done. You know, like, and that's
Yep.
I'm literally paying someone to do my homework. Like, that's the homework.
Mhm.
And that would have been like, I'd have got written up for that at St. Francis Prep. You know what I mean? I got a demerit for that shit. They wouldn't have let me play football on Saturday. All right.
Right.
Meanwhile, as an adult, you know what that gets me? That gets me laid because I get to go out with my wife instead of staying home doing taxes. You know, I get to finish date night. You know, that's what that is.
Yeah. Oh wow! I just never thought of it that way. That's brilliant parenting tips from Gastor, everybody.
Oh man, that book is gonna sell well. I'm excited.
It is. It absolutely is.
Walmart blames fraudster for racist emails that was sent out to customers this week. That's right. Fraudster created false Walmart accounts to send emails with the racist slur to customers. The perpetrator found other people's email addresses and signed them up for a Walmart account. The company sent an auto-generated welcome to Walmart email, but the email replaced the person's actual name with the N-word. Yo.
Look, this is horrible. But I swear to you, the looking at the inbox and seeing that headline, just "Welcome to Walmart," N-word, is so funny.
Yo.
It's so. I'm sorry to anyone who received this email out of the blue, but I can't tell you that if I got this, I wouldn't laugh hysterically. Because I think we both just started laughing at the same time, just looking at this thing. It is hilarious.
Yeah, I've been real talk. I know it's legitimately like offensive. I get it. I had to actually find 4 versions of this article because most of them wouldn't even show the screenshot. So I knew New York Post, they got me covered. Yeah. They gonna show it, you know.
Yeah, New York Post don't care about N-words.
So I go there and I see, and to your point, I was like, I want to see what it is that was said. And it was so simple. It's not even like it's derogatory as a whole email. It's not the body of the email. It's just they switched it in the title in the header. And that it is amazingly funny to see that.
It is so funny. No, it's very effective. It's eye-catching.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Again, sorry to y'all who got this. It's a shame. Also, how were they able to? I'm still trying to figure out technically how they were able to just like get emails. Do you know what I mean? Like how did you like? Oh, okay, I see. So this person found other people's email addresses.
Yeah.
Just random people, and then signed them up for a Walmart account, and then
he sent it out.
Replaced it with the man. Who's got time for that? I mean, don't get me wrong. It's great work. Whoever did it, you should burn. Absolutely. Word. But, I mean, very effective. Also very effective.
Yo, you know what was the first shit I thought of? I was like, yo, I know they mad, but like, their click-through rate had to be crazy in that email.
Yeah.
Like someone at Walmart is like, all right, we can't do this again. But did you see that MailChimp report this month? It's crazy.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I really hope this doesn't happen again. I'm sorry to everyone that this happened to, but
yeah,
thank you for sharing it.
It's just so, it's like, look, if the N-word was like a happy word, like if it wasn't quite such a bummer, it would be a great greeting.
Yeah, like this felt like I was reading a Mark Twain email.
Yeah, it was very, yeah, I'm sorry. It made me laugh a lot.
Yeah.
Just then.
Tom Sawyer
it just made me laugh a lot.
This is beautiful.
I may screenshot that because that is hilarious. But again, kids don't do that.
Yeah, nah, definitely
Yes,
not.
don't do that. Stay in school. Do something else. Don't do
Yeah,
this.
to counter my argument, whoever pulled
Yeah,
this off had to pay attention to school. I will say.
absolutely, absolutely. You learned it from
Yeah.
somewhere. You maybe I don't know, but you learned the basics for somewhere. So, but wow. And also, I mean, I'm sad that they didn't stumble upon. I mean, I would have maybe been upset, maybe. But yeah, yeah, that is. Once I got over being upset and making sure that my credit cards weren't in or, my credit cards. I'm talking like I got credit cards. My debit card hasn't been compromised or my identity hasn't been compromised in any way, that would really crack me up. Or I would wonder who the other people who are using my email, what the hell they've been doing. Do you have that where people just put in your email address, like maybe there's another Gastor Almonte out
My
there,
dad, yeah, and he literally does that. My dad doesn't know
and
how
so
email works.
half of your emails are his.
Oh yeah, like he doesn't check his emails ever, and every time
Mhm,
a company says, "Hey, we need an email," he just gives them my email. So I get
mhm.
I know what my dad is shopping for. I know what his home issues are. Like if I start getting a whole bunch of things like, oh, he's looking for a plumber, like I know
Uh-huh.
I'm getting those emails, like all of them. Like
Oh, wow, that's so funny. I don't know who mine, I think, are based mostly either in Nigeria or the UK. But if they're in the UK, they are Nigerian. A
okay,
lot of it's coming through Nigerian sites, which makes sense because Shalewa is a Nigerian name. Actually, a kind of, uh, like, mid-popular Nigerian
oh
name. It's
wow,
in some pop songs. Like, it's a name.
okay,
It's
okay.
legit. But, like, that and my email is very simple, it's just my first name, right? And so you could just if you're dealing with any company and you just put that in and just like, "Yeah, just send it there," now I'm getting it. So, there were various, versions of a Shalewa out there who were trying a yoga app for the first time, or they're registering this and that. I'm like, "Oh my god," and it's been kinda confusing because some people are doing, like, legit things that I'm also on sites I'm also using.
Oh,
So it's like, "Oh, no," but then I have to think, "Wait, which did I use this email?" Or I have a few emails, or which one so I have to use other emails for those other sites, but then I get notifications to the one that's my main one, and I'm like, "Oh, shit," and I'm like, "Oh, wait, no, that's not me, that's the one over in the UK."
have you like talked with them?
No.
You should. My one of my best friends, my boy Mark, he's my daughter's godfather. He uh his full name like is like for Filipino guys it's relatively like unique.
Mhm.
So he looked himself up while he was like starting a job search right out of high school, right out of like college, and he
Right.
found another Filipino guy with his name trying the exact same career.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
So like he's in New York. The only thing that helps is that the guy's in LA.
Mhm.
But then like what ended up happening is like slowly Mark started getting mad because the other Mark was getting all the things.
All of his things
But not
yes.
not I'm not saying
That
like he was getting his emails. I'm saying he was getting his
Mhm.
dreams. Like
Right.
everything Mark wanted, other Mark actually succeeded at getting. You
Oh,
know?
no. Oh, no, that's yeah.
So
No, no, I can't find because I'm only using my first name. So if I look up just my first name, like I said, it's a
yeah.
fairly popular Nigerian name. Also, it's part of Shalewa is just a shortened version of a longer version of the
Right,
name.
right.
So you could actually be named Omo Shalewa.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, "Oh, no, that could be, that's like at least like a quarter of Nigerians, maybe? I don't know. Just in the UK alone, and then now and also a lot of the stuff will come from places that are someone was getting like, groceries delivered, and it was a UK based one, and I was like, I don't think they come here. But instead of using gmail.co.uk, they just put .com.
Oh, that's awesome.
And the .com is the US one. So I will get those. It is annoying.
I,
It is annoying.
Yo, in my heart of
But
hearts, I really, really hope that there's like a community that like unintentionally to like not nice to you, but like I hope that they're just teaching their kids that like as a life thing. Like, all right, when you're 13, you're gonna start going to the store by yourself. They're gonna ask you to put in an email. Everyone uses Shalewa.
just use this. Right, exactly. I think that is what is happening, because they're just like, no one's gonna. And I wonder if they're like, there's no one in the US who's got this name, so we can just. I guess it's my fault for getting to Gmail first and beating out all of the other Shalewas to my email
Well
address.
done. Well done.
But yikes.
That is not a race I
Yikes.
had to worry about. It was me and a 60-year-old Dominican guy.
Yeah. So I know, I have friends who have like a kind of simple names with a last name Brown or something like that, a simple first name, and Smith is a last name. And so they find out about the other people with that exact same name who are doing other kinds of things. And it's just like, oh boy. But at least my spam folder is a little livelier
There you go.
than just penis pills or whatever.
Hey, listen, if you're interested, I want to do a documentary on all the people named Gastor, so we could do a Shalewa version of
Ooh.
this. But yeah, I'm D. We can make it happen. We can get to the bottom of these email people, see who's putting your name everywhere. The Canadian company Nixwear raises $53 million while disqualifying investors who questioned the CEO's pregnancy. That's right. Toronto CEO raised $53 million in capital while pregnant with twins, all while refusing to work with any investor who questioned her pregnancy. Joanna Griffiths shared her story. She said the response has been overwhelming. I can't keep up at this point with so many people reaching out and just saying how important it was for them to see this story. Griffith's company, Nixwear, a women's undergarment brand, saw online sales soar during the pandemic, surpassing $100 million in revenue in the last 12 months. As a result, she and her team decided it was the right time to expand the company. I love this thing here. Like, there's been such a low value placed in diversity, and that started with women in the workforce. I think that so many women are disqualified for roles just because of things that that men view as a hindrance or an issue. And it's just cool to see someone like kind of say, yo, fuck off. This is
I think the nerve of anybody to ask anything of a pregnant woman. First off, if that's not why you're there, you are not meeting with the woman because she's pregnant. You're meeting with the woman because she's the CEO of a company and you have expressed an interest to invest.
right.
That's all y'all should be talking about. So the nerve of anybody who's just like, yeah, but I see you about to have them babies though. Get the fuck out. Absolutely get the fuck out.
Instantly.
No one has time for you. Simon Says, get the fuck out. Like,
Instantly.
like there's no meeting over.
She should have played the Pharaoh Monch song. That'd have been hard. Like, just have the chorus come on every time somebody brings it up.
Just the minute some guy is like, well, I see that you're pregnant, you just hear bum, 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 bum. Like, nope, get out. No time for bullshit.
Yeah, I love this. I just think this is incredibly dope. And just what blows so much about this blows my mind. But like the fact, like a guy bringing up the pregnancy of the CEO who's running a woman's wares like company, like you have no, like literally you should be lucky that she's talking to you about making you money. All your questions should be about the company. I wouldn't even go into the meeting. I'd be like, hey, listen, I'm gonna send somebody more qualified, which should be hopefully half of my workforce.
Mhm.
They are half of the people. I should have options to send people who might know more about, this product and using it in the day-to-day life. Why are you there? Like, and then your questions go there.
Yeah, but I mean, keep in mind though, women are not exempt. Women definitely anytime someone has put their hands on my stomach to bless my child, it has been a woman. Have I ever been pregnant like that? No. No. I just that's where I carry my weight. I carry my weight in my gut. And I have had women come around from registers and put their hands on my stomach.
Yo, that's
I
ballsy.
had a woman scream at me at the club, "How dare I come to the club being pregnant?" And I was like, "Well, I guess I can't wear this dress again." Like, so don't think that I mean, a woman could still come in there,
Wow,
a
reckless.
woman with a and still be like, "But I mean, are you going to run the company? You're about to have kids." And to you, get the fuck out.
Word.
Like, no questions about my children. No questions about at any point. All you should be doing is going, "If I write you a check for this
How
much,
much?
what's the return on it?"
Yeah.
That's all you need to
And
know.
listen, you know what? I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. You can ask a CEO a question about their pregnancy if that meeting is 24 hours long. Like, all right, we went through all the questions. I know these
Uh-huh.
meetings are like half hour to an hour. How did you get through every business inquiry you have when you're investing money that you're already at the pregnancy? You know what I'm saying? Like, that meeting isn't long enough for me to get to like peripheral shit about like pregnancy. Like, that's the equivalent to me to be like, yo, so you gonna run this company even though you eat oatmeal? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just so wild. Like, it's just a
Yeah.
random like thing that like has nothing to do with her ability to run the business. I'm blown up that in a short meeting that I know isn't one on one. Like, I know you ain't the only one asking questions. So like,
Right.
how did you have time? How was that one of your only questions? Let's say you got an
I mean,
hour meeting. That's You got to figure
I
minute for
wonder
question, minute to response. So you got 30 questions to ask this person before giving them a check for $10 million. And you gonna waste
I
the
wonder if
question?
it's okay though to ask like, "When are you due?" Or if that's too leading of a question. Or if she's already I imagine I would just kinda let her say whatever it is she's going to say
Right.
and follow her lead, right?
Yeah.
So if she is like, um, yeah, blah, 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 and then, I gotta take a little time off. If she's clearly 11 months pregnant and she's like, "I gotta take a little time off in July," you don't say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I no, gotcha. But I imagine if she doesn't bring it up, I really shouldn't bring it up. I'm gonna follow her lead on that. Um, and if I'm asking anything about babies, I think it would be about the company policy for mothers and expectant mothers, what they do for it, like benefits wise.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how is this company run? Do you know what I mean? Like, I hope she ain't the only one who's allowed to be pregnant and no one asks her about it.
True.
I hope
True.
other people, so that might be as I dig into the, how the company actually moves with its employees and all that kind of stuff. That's it. But I really doesn't have anything to do with her kids. That's more of just like, how are you treating anybody here who also wants to make the choice that you've made.
Yeah. I
Like,
dig that.
yeah, do you have things in place for that? Blah 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 blah. But otherwise, that's really the only time that I would bring up like baby shit. I'm actively trying to ignore that you pregnant. To be honest with you, I'm looking directly in your eye. I'm not looking down. I'm not looking. It's going to be a little creepy, but I'm not. Mm-mm,
See,
I'm not asking.
I'm admittedly jealous. I wish there was a way as a dude when I was having my kids for other people to know I'm just having a kid. I was excited. I wanted to share, but
Mm-hmm.
guess what? That was my choice.
Right.
I got to go out and say, hey, yo, listen, I'm having a kid. It's gonna be great. Dude might look like me. Turns out they don't. They white as hell. But you know, they got like my
Oh,
traits.
are they
They're
super
like
light?
super light skinned kids. It's insane.
Uh,
Like, they're not me at all in that regard. They have like my facial features, but they will have better credit and I'm very happy for him. Uh,
My mother, if I'm not mistaken, I think my mother had them check for both me and my sister. Like, make sure this is make sure this is the one. Is this what just came out of me? Double check that.
Oh man. Yeah, like my son looked like my dad in a like junior high school picture, but only because the picture's in black and white. So like I could
Gotcha.
see like, oh, in sepia tone, y'all look the same, y'all.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, major props to this lady. Keep doing what y'all doing out there. $53 million worth of raised capital, and you got to say no to a whole bunch of people. That's a huge win right there.
Yeah, that really is.
I dig it. Drake brought out his son while being honored at the BBMAs, and apparently it was very precious according to this title. I like that. Drake may have been honored with the Artist of the Decade award at the Billboard Music Awards, but it was his 3-year-old son, Adonis Graham, who ended up stealing the show. As a 34-year-old rapper delivered his speech on stage, all eyes were on his son, who stood by his dad. I really like this whole family story coming full circle. Like, he's really embracing,
Look, it's not full circle until we see how the child interacts with Pusha T.
Okay.
Let's be real. Pusha T has as much to do with this family as Drake does.
Yeah, Pusha got to be the godfather at the very least.
Yeah,
in this relationship.
absolutely. Because who's looking out for that little boy? Apparently, it was Pusha T. Pusha T was the first one to look after that little kid.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, Southern manners don't get talked about enough, man. Them dudes from Virginia make it happen. Brought a family together,
Yeah, manners. Oh boy. I mean, I saw the story and I saw a little clip of him like lifting up his child, and I was just like, you are hiding a child. Like, there's no way that kid can become just full grown. I will be in my 70s, in my 80s, and this kid could be a senator, and he'll come out and they're like, and here's Adonis Graham, speaking rebuttal for whatever, and he's on the Senate floor, and I'm just going to be like, you are hiding a child. Like, I will never forget that. I'll never forget it. I'm never going to forget that.
Oh man. Yeah, man. This is the most Dominican shit Drake ever did. I felt so connected to this man all throughout this process.
Oh God.
Oh my goodness. This is
The most Dominican thing. Most Dominican thing he does is get his beard lined up. But
yeah, the little heart thing he has in the lineup, that's Def Dominican. That's extra.
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, that is.
I've never seen a picture of Drake and not assume he spoke Spanish. Like, I always think his English has an accent. Like, he's one of my uncles.
I'm gonna go on record, and I do not care for Drake. He does nothing for me. Now, he maybe has had a song or two that I'm like, oh, this is fine. But again, it could have been anyone, really, a little bit. I get that his delivery style has influenced and changed a lot of hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Word, fine. But I never really wished ill against him. But from the moment he came out, I was just like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to let him do what he does. And I guess he'll peter away 10 years later.
He's still out here dropping albums.
Still out here. And I'm like, all right, I guess you're still around or whatever. But yeah, he bores me. And sometimes I forget, like, he is definitely swagger jacked from so many places.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, for a second, I forget. And that beard is doing so much heavy lifting. The minute he got that beard, it was literally like his whole career changed the minute he got that beard. And I'm like, oh wow, we just gonna forget that he was a child actor and
Mm-hmm.
he looks wild without a beard, just no chin. Like we forgot he's not really attractive, right? Is he attractive or is this just the beard? Is that what's happening? What's going on?
Beard's vital.
But the beard really switched things up, but he is not for me. And the way he brought his kid out, I'm just like, I mean, I guess, man. I'm glad you're not hiding a child anymore, but
Man of integrity, you know.
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I
He just does.
I've never been a fan, and I disliked him for a long time, but not his fault. It was because at my first like full on grown up job after like I had kids, my manager would try to connect with us by putting Drake
Mhm.
lyrics in the PowerPoint to like
Oh,
motivate us
no.
because it was like
Oh,
sales meetings, but we were all like black and brown kids. So
oh no.
so he would like start
That's
off the
the
meeting. He's
worst.
like, I might be too strung out on confidence, overdose. You know, like I'm like, yo, like we not doing Drake songs in the PowerPoint. And
Don't.
he would like, you know how PowerPoints like you could like put out one line at a time. So he would do it
Uh-huh.
dramatically like that, like put out one bar of the Drake joint,
And then
slowly read it.
put the hashtag rap part in the next slide. I can't.
It was a mess. So yeah, I straight up hated Drake for like 2 years.
That's
You know,
understandable. That's understandable.
dude was
I'll allow it. I'll allow it for just even making the kind of art where that could happen. Put that on your old manager and on Drake.
Microsoft CEO responds to news of Bill Gates' affair with an employee. That's right. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella on Friday responded to recent news about the conduct of the company's founder, Bill Gates, that raised questions about the tech giant's workplace culture. Nadella referenced an investigation Microsoft initiated 2 years ago into an affair between Gates and an employee that took place in 2000, in which was reported this week amid coverage of Gates' divorce from his wife Melinda French Gates. The employee relationship, which Gates representatives have acknowledged, reportedly took place while he was chairman of the board and the chief software architect at Microsoft. Nadella's quote is, Microsoft of 2021 is very different from Microsoft of 2000. To me and to everyone at Microsoft, our focus on our culture, our diversity, our inclusion, in particular, the everyday experience of our people is super important. It's a huge priority.
What a messy bitch.
Yo.
Bill Gates, you're a messy bitch.
Yo, this dude out here, yo. I ain't know it, man. All these Herbie pictures, I ain't know he had it in him.
No, here's where all of y'all are going wrong. You think just because he's wearing glasses and seems a little nebbish that he's not out here fucking. But he also developed and owns Microsoft.
Word up.
The first thing you should have assumed is that he was fucking. I was just like, I assume that once you get to a certain like tax bracket, you and your partner just understand that that's how it is.
Right.
That like someone, yeah, that someone is gonna, you know what I mean? Like I thought it was just an understood thing, and that there were already rules, and that he broke those rules, and that is why Melinda's like, nah, I can't. But otherwise,
my G.
yeah, but I'm not surprised. I mean, he met Melinda at the job.
Yeah,
you know,
that's fair.
he met her at the job. Yeah, that's where most relationships or affairs happen, is at the job.
Yo.
Especially if you're the boss.
Yeah, you got options, you know?
Especially if you're the boss. Like I would be surprised if it was like if it was more of like they found his account on like FetLife or some sort of site, some sort of dating site or kink site or something like that. I'd be like, oh, okay, Bill.
Yeah, Bill.
But if it's just, yeah, he dated someone who worked at the company he came up with. Yeah. I can see that. Because you're enough of a egomaniac to be like, I started Microsoft. All this shit is mine. All this shit is
Yo,
mine.
you know how much I really hope that like a CEO like gets like caught out there with like year 2000 era DMs sent like through Black Planet or Mi Gente, you know, like that would be so great, you know.
Well, I mean, Jeff Bezos had those text messages that he was sending someone.
Oh,
Do you remember? And the same with Jeff Bezos. I was like, yeah, of course he was cheating. Of course he was cheating because he did enough to like try to fix his teeth or start working out or
yeah, he
something.
started
But
roiding up.
yeah, exactly. So he definitely, I was like, oh yeah, he's out here
So
fucking.
what's that number where like where like there's a number where like you're so rich you automatically know you're gonna cheat?
I don't know. It has to be honestly, I feel like it has to be basically based on how much you believe in yourself. Like if you believe that you can if you believe that you can achieve this particular dollar amount,
Right.
then somewhere there is where you and your partner work out the kinks of this. So I don't know. I mean, like if I get to a point where I make $100,000, does that mean that me and my partner are like, well, I guess we're fucking around on each other now, but it's okay. Because first, that's wild that number one, I have a partner, and number two, I'm willing to fuck around for a hundred
I don't
grand.
say
I'd
that
be
number can't be
complete
it.
sport. Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, I'm looking up his Bezos text messages right
Because
now.
I'm thinking like I'm trying to think of the other end of it. Like the richest person I think who doesn't cheat is Ray Romano.
Wait, hold on.
Like Ray Romano is like 150 mil, 200 mil, and I feel like he has an ego in the sense that like he knows he's funny, but I don't think he has an ego in anything else. Like I feel like his wife checks him.
How did you settle upon Ray Romano?
I was trying to think.
Like, how is he in his brain? How is he in your brain?
I don't know. I don't know how it worked. I was just trying to think of rich dudes that like aren't like I was I was trying to think of rich people that like in their heart of hearts they know that they wouldn't be rich if they had to do anything else.
Did Was he with his wife before he really blew
I
up?
think so. 'Cause they got like four like grown kids. I remember.
Okay. So then that also may have something to do with it, right? Like when did they join you? Did you guys get together in the lean years,
Right.
like the salad years, and then you've built a whatever? Absolutely. But I feel like if you've already started your empire
Yeah.
and now you meet somebody who sees, I mean, they already know, you're like, all right, I'm meeting you while I'm at your empire.
Right.
You gotta know. I feel like and maybe I just don't have enough faith in people, but I feel like you kinda have to know, like, yeah, they're not. Yeah, I guess I'm probably gonna have to, you know what I mean? Like, it should surprise you, but it also happens so often it shouldn't be a shock.
Right. Right.
I mean, because I don't think whatever it was that Bill Gates did in 2000 is the reason that Melinda Gates has filed, now,
Yeah. No, I agree. I
you
agree. I
know?
think she kept the list like
I
just in
think I think
case.
there was some line in the sand, and he crossed that
Yeah.
line.
Now she
And
brought
I
out the
don't think you
ledger.
know what that, yeah, you don't sometimes you don't know what that line is until it's been crossed, but you do know that there are steps getting up to that line,
Mm-hmm.
and you've taken those steps, you know what I mean? Which may be dealing with, a couple of times that he rubbed somebody's shoulders that he wasn't supposed to, or
Mm.
some shit like that, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I feel like, yeah, this I mean, of course he was, I mean, no one wants to picture it, but of course Bill Gates was fucking.
Yeah, I don't want to picture it, but I want to see it, if that makes sense. I don't know why. Like I don't want to daydream about it, but I would watch a
Right,
video if you
right.
sent me the link.
Oh, no.
uh, and a bit more awesome news. Simone Biles is inspiring in her unapologetic brilliance. That's right. Simone Biles may be all of 4'8", but she will not shrink herself for her abilities or her achievements. On Saturday in Indianapolis, in her first competition in 18 months, the 5-time all-around world champion and 2-time Olympic all-around gold medalist unveiled yet another move that no other woman had done. This time, a Yurchenko double pike on the vault. She hinted at it on social media that she was practicing it on Friday, and she nailed it during her arena practice, and then she pulled it off during the actual competition. Despite the hot, Biles received a score of 16.100, by far the highest for the apparatus at the U.S. Classic meet. But it wasn't as high as it could have been, whether it's because it wants to discourage other gymnasts from attempting the move or just the reluctance to embrace the way the sport is evolving. The International Gymnastics Federation, which sets the scores, undervalued Biles' vault. It's not the first time that one of her moves has been undervalued, by the way. It came out, they asked her why it is that she decided to do so, and she said, because I can. Major props on like kind of being like the epitome of excellence here.
I didn't know that we were valuing, you know what I mean, that you could undervalue a move.
Yeah.
Do you know what I didn't know that there are just people there with like calculators and clipboards who are just like, I mean, no, that's great. No one's ever done that, but it's not worth what? I don't see y'all doing it. I don't know. That's wild to me that they're still just like, yeah, we get it that you're doing something that no one's done before and that you're pushing things to a next level. Others may get hurt, but others may not.
Right.
And to not, I guess others need to figure out what it is that they can do or whatever. But I just think it's wild that they're just like, no, that's too hard.
Yeah, I listen, years.
But I don't understand sports. So.
Years of Pee Wee League baseball frustrated me when they put the mercy rule. Like I have such a huge disbelief with that. I had no problem when my team lost. We took an L. Every now and then it happens. It's Pee Wee League baseball. But I genuinely hated when they made me get off the field because we already scored 10 runs that inning. I was like, it's not my fault. These kids are trash. They need to learn how to field. And I'm making it possible for them by hitting all these hits into the field, make them run around and practice these drills while I run the bases. You know? In my heart of hearts.
Now it's practice. Now they need to practice this so that they can figure it out for the next whatever.
It's a life lesson. You need to learn how to like deal with tough moments. You're losing, you know, and it's okay. You and your people got to get it together in this inning, but I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to pile this on. And I get, on.
Okay, maybe not pile it on. I don't play, I've never played any sports, so I don't know the exact feeling of the mercy rule where you're just like, yo, he's already dead, you know, but,
Yo, real talk, my team on at least like 3 occasions, we won games 30-0 because they got stopped at 3 innings because we hit 10 runs every inning for 3 innings, and it was like, yo, there's too many Dominicans on your team. We gotta wrap this up, man. This is getting crazy out here.
Oh my god!
But like, yo, and the thing is, I feel like stuff that, and what really irks me is that, and I guess I felt this back then. This happened whenever I would go to like Whitestone to play, or like you know, like I went to neighborhoods that had every other privilege, and us kids from East New York was stomping these dudes out. You know, so this kind of reeks to me of that. You know, like
yes,
you know, that's what's bothering me. Like she's doing something incredible, and you're trying to cap her greatness to protect everyone else's ego and supposedly like their safety. I appreciate that feeling if that was the genuine feeling. But if I can't do 3 somersaults and it might break my neck, I'm not doing 3 somersaults. I'm gonna do the shit I could do. You know what I mean? That's all. Like, so those other people, they're not gonna attempt the shit that's gonna break their neck because they messed up in practice already. The coach is gonna tell them, "Hey, listen, you a 2 somersault motherfucker. This ain't your lane. That's Simone Biles only. Go for that silver." You know?
It's kind of like the do you remember the young woman, the French ice skater, Benali, I think was her name.
Okay.
She did backflips while on the ice.
Yeah.
And they were always just like, "Nah, we can't have you out here doing backflips on the ice. Like you doing we can't." Now I think everybody's doing something ridiculous, but she was the first one,
Yeah.
I think, really doing, like, really pushing it forward. And but because she was a black woman,
Right.
they were just like, "No, we can't. I don't think we can." "I'm sorry, ma'am. We can't really have you doing that." And that's wild. That's wild, that because it's not what you're used to seeing.
Right.
That you're like, "No." Hey man, I just think, find a thing, gymnasts out there, that you can nail and fucking nail that thing,
Yeah.
like, to your best ability, and then push as far as you want to push, but nail all these things, and you will get your high scores.
That's it.
You will be known as the person who can do that the best. That's what they do.
Amen.
And yeah, just I guess I don't know. It sucks, but there are going to be people out here who are better than you.
Yeah.
And they're not going to stop just because you see them being better than you.
And I think that's a valuable lesson to learn. You need to learn how to handle that moment. And it teaches you humility. It teaches you ideally to work, to get better at your craft. Also, if
Mhm.
you're winning, it teaches you how to win with class. Like admittedly, the
Right.
first time, straight up, first time we stomped somebody out, we were talking smack the whole time, pointing.
Oh, I'm sure.
And
I'm sure you will.
yeah, and it's in me. Like, I want to do that. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I got it. But like, I also remember seeing 9-year-olds cry. Like, oh, and I ain't like that feeling. I was like, that's kind of messed up. So like the next game, like, we was humble about it. Like, we was hitting home runs, and on God, there was an inning I had 2 home runs. The second time I hit the home run, when I crossed home, I patted the catcher on the back. I was like, yo, sorry about that. Yes.
Oh no, that might be worse. That might be worse. That might be
But
worse.
like, it was from the heart. Like, it wasn't me talking smack. It's like, yo, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to get around these bases as quickly as possible.
Oh,
But
wow.
it taught me, like, yo, like, there's a emotional component to care about with my competitors, and super, like, future thinking. As I got older, I realized that I got better because they were there. Like, I can't be good at my
Okay.
craft,
Right. Yeah, you can.
if I'm
Yep.
not playing against people. So I have to show respect to whoever shows up and is willing to compete. So like, if you don't, if you're winning, you need to win, but you need to learn how to win with grace, because that's what it teaches you. And in turn, when
Right.
you lose, it shows you that you need to work on your craft, and you can ideally get better. And you learn how to handle and be around people that are great at certain things. I think that's a real reality that kids get sheltered from, and apparently adult gymnasts need to be protected from this.
Right. Yeah.
You're like, 19, 20-year-old, and people are like, yo, we need to protect their egos and their bones.
Right.
Come on,
Exactly.
man. Wow.
Yeah, you should know. It's a highly competitive thing that you're doing. So you're going to have to figure out how to compete.
Straight up.
And at some point, if you feel like you can't catch the runaway train, well, I mean, how good is your train?
Yeah.
Make sure your train is as good as possible.
Let my kid get smacked 30-0 and tell me he won't quit baseball over that game. We gonna have a real talk. Like, nah, man, you signed up for 2 more years off of that L. You gonna learn to get better.
Okay, now you're pushing. Now you're pushing. If your child is miserable,
that's different. Yeah,
maybe. Yeah,
I'm okay if he like, I don't like baseball, but like, you ain't gonna make that decision that day. Is all I'm saying. I know you don't like this moment. I agree with that. Learn to overcome the moment, and then if you don't like baseball at the end of the season, we could talk. But if you tell me that today, nah, today ain't the day to have that convo, my G. You sit down.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see how you feel after maybe you win one,
Yeah.
if you still hate it.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I got strong feelings about these years at Lanso's Little League in Canarsie. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see it
We
really.
could have been
It
legends, Sha.
definitely sound you probably were. There are probably lots of, people who played against y'all and are now in therapy. So, congrats to that, I guess.
I knew, yo, we when my little brother started playing, because
Mhm.
he was pretty good, but he was like really, really big for his size on top of that. So like we'd have to come to games with like his birth certificate. And like when his team started slaughtering squads, we had like police officers would like stop what they doing locally and just watch the game with us. So like you could have robbed Brooklyn blind for like the 2 hours my brother played every week. Like, we had
Oh,
like four
wow.
cop cars just pulling up. Yo, Gabriel's playing. Come through. You know what I mean? Like we shut it down. So like, yeah, I take it real. I'm big on that. You learn through your L's, people. You know, I'm a comic. I
Learn
bomb
through your
sometimes.
L's.
I
Yeah,
get a
you
good joke from it. So I really believe in this whole system. So yeah,
yeah, you do learn through your failures.
that's
You
it.
do learn through your failures.
Speaking of learning from his
Uh-oh.
failures, Timberwolves Malik Beasley shares an apology to his wife and son following the Larsa Pippen affair.
Okay, wait. Now there's learning from your failures, and then perhaps there's this?
The Timberwolves shooting guard Malik Beasley shared the apology to his wife and son following his alleged affair with Larsa Pippen last year. Beasley's wife, Montana Yao, filed for divorce from him last year, with sources at the time indicating that she filed from the divorce the moment she saw photos of him holding hands with Pippen. In an extensive apology, Beasley is finally addressing the situation publicly for the first time. I want to say sorry for putting you in the situation you were put in the last few months. My head wasn't where it was supposed to be. I was looking for more when it was right here the whole time.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
telling the world and you that there's nobody like you for me. For the record, I was the one who ended my last relationship off the fact that there's no one like you.
Um, mm, okay. Mm, I feel didn't we see that she had moved that the Pippin lady had moved on to another young
Oh
buck?
yeah.
Didn't we see that?
Oh yeah. Laws is
So,
out there.
okay. So the for the record part feels a little
He's trying to save himself.
unnecessary. But yeah, like for the record, I was the one who ended the last relationship off the fact, which is such a wild thing to say, like the last relationship, which makes it sound like there were
You
others that
know
he was having, but the last one he ended.
it.
So
The other ones,
why
they
are there
beat me to it.
plural? Yeah, the other ones, no, shit happens. But this last one, I definitely said, no more. I can't do this anymore. Because it turns out, after I went through all of those relationships, some I ended, some I didn't. It turns out you, woman I married and mother of my child, is the one. It turns out you're the one for me. Turns out. My
Also,
bad. I want to say sorry for putting you in the situation you were put in.
oh man,
What is that? I put you in the situation you were put in. My bad.
I really applaud this man for being like not honest and honest like all at once. It's such a like delicate balance because I think he thinks he's being honest, but we know he's not. Like it's rare when you trick yourself this well. I'm
It's
impressed.
not rare. You do that all the time when you're in your goddamn 20s. Isn't he like 20 something?
Yeah, I think so. He's in his 20s,
Yeah.
NBA play. Yeah,
These are this is like classic 20 no like force you just think that you can just be like, "Hey, girl, I'm sorry." Like that's not
it works, my G. You can't
yeah.
hate big head yourself. All right.
You cannot hey big yeah, you that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to hey big head his way back into his
Uh huh.
marriage after being seen publicly with somebody else. In a big way. In a big way, holding hands in an airport, big way, and then you're just gonna come back like, "I mean, so what you doing? So how's the kid? What are you talking about? Get out of here."
Yeah, I ain't looking to be judged. I'm looking for forgiveness. To forgive me for hurting my family the way I did. At the end of the day, I'm a lover boy. And I miss
Nigga, get out of
holding y'all. I miss holding y'all and loving y'all. I love you, Mushi. I love you, KK. My family over thing.
Over okay.
Not over
Okay.
everything, just over thing.
No, just over thing. I my man. Hey,
Yo,
bruh.
Malik, you make too much money not to have an editor for these tweets, my G. Over and
No,
over again.
that's keeping it that's how you keep it real. And honestly, there's no editor that's gonna help him get back in. This is wild. That you even did this publicly is wild. But since everything else was so public, why wouldn't you do this publicly? Uh, but yeah, this is oh man, good luck to you, and I hope the divorce shakes out in a way where everybody is happy. But I don't see that happening.
And somebody
This
tell
is
this man, for the love of God, that
this is a big expensive mistake.
I'm just saying, like at this point in your life, you should know that an ellipsis is 3 dots. That's all I'm asking for. There's so many 2-dot ellipses in this post. It
Yeah,
bothers me.
that's true.
There's
That's true.
there's no way you're telling me that he wrote this out and on Instagram they said, yo, you need to get rid of 8 characters, and he went back and chose 1 dot from each of these 8 ellipses until the last one.
No. Here's the part that is getting me. Also, for the record, I wanted to do my own ish. You grown, grown, because I just left you guys, and I def ain't the type to set up pictures at the mall and ish. That's some childish ish, and I'm trying to grow individually and grow a family, a real family.
Amen. Amen.
He's trying to grow a real family. He used ish 1, 2, 3 times in a run-on sentence.
Oh man. Shouts to Malik Beasley.
Uh-huh.
If you'd like to join me while I go to the mall to set up pictures and shit, please like and subscribe to the show. If you are an Apple listener, please rate the show 4 stars. I mean, I guess you a 2 ellipsis kind of person.
Yeah.
5 stars are more than loved. We appreciate all of them that come in. If you have an article you want us to share, discuss, DM us directly on Instagram or Twitter at Silky Jumbo, at Gastor Almonte. We had several people that sent in articles. I'm sorry I forgot to write down who all of you were, but I'll shout y'all out in a future episode. But yeah, my attention to detail was trash, and y'all got me out of a lot of work this week. So thank you. It was really dope. But yeah, please like and subscribe, share the articles with us. With all that said, my name is Gastor Almonte, always with the homie Shalewa Sharpe. It's been another
Happy
War
birthday,
Report.
everyone. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Also, happy birthday to everyone.
That is perfect.